Hey guys, what's up? Thanks so much for stopping by, or if this is your first time here, welcome. I'm so happy you decided to click on my face. My name is Dana and I hope you enjoy your stay. If you decide to stick around, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe. That way you don't miss out on any of my future content. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you all of my favorites and fails from the month of August. I actually have a lot of makeup this month. I typically don't have this many makeup products, but I tried a lot this month and it was really hard for me to dwindle it down. I didn't want to steal the spotlight from any of these products because they have been on constant, not even constant rotation. They've just been living on my vanity nonstop. So let's go ahead and start off with eyes. These are some of the quads from Colourpop. We have She's a Natural and then Bare It All. I have so many Colourpop shadows in my collection, whether we are talking singles or palettes. So I really slowed my roll with ordering from Colourpop. I actually received these in PR though, and ever since getting these in my hands, I have been adding several of their other quads into my cart. I'm just gonna wait for a sale and then pull the trigger. So I'm sitting here editing and I just got an email notification from Colourpop. They're currently doing 30% off site-wide. So if you do have your eyes on the quads or anything else, now would be the time. The quads end up coming to like $630 or $650 a piece. So I'm definitely gonna go ahead and finally click the checkout button because I've had these in my cart for weeks now. There is something different about the shadows in these quads. I can't say if it's the same for the shimmers, but the mattes are just, I mean, insane. They're so creamy, super blendable, incredibly pigmented. For a couple months now, I've been really gravitating, oh, that was so satisfying. I've been really gravitating towards like quads and quints. I just like having smaller palettes. And then with these, since they're matte, I still like to throw in some shimmer here and there. As much as I love a full matte look, I can't get away from shimmer and glitter. I will just always love it. So on my eyes today, along with a mixture of both of those quads, I purchased another one of these. I believe the brand is Meko. I think it's a Japanese brand. I ordered these from YesStyle. A few months ago, I had hauled like kind of a pinky lavender duochrome shade. I instantly fell in love with the formula, so I ordered the shade 6. I already have another one in my cart. The best way to describe these is they have a very similar texture to the Colourpop Super Shock shadows, but then the way that they lay on the eyes is almost more like a Maybelline color tattoo, like the longevity. It goes on the eyes very thin, so you can build it up or just keep it as like a sheer wash of shimmer. I love this color so much. So you'll see what this looks like on its own, but then whenever I do just want to amp it up a tiny bit, I'll go in with the smallest drop of the Danessa Myricks Color Fix in, I think this one's, yeah, Goldmine. I love this combination together. It's not overly yellow gold, and I think that's what I like about it. It's definitely more of like a neutral toned gold. While I love warm shades, I'm not as crazy about super saturated yellow golds. And to me, this is like the perfect neutral sort of like dirty toned bronzy gold. It is so beautiful. This is another product that is also incredibly long wearing. I have a bin full of these. I absolutely love them. The foiled ones are definitely my favorites though. While the mattes are incredible, the foils are just, oh, and the duochromes are so, so good. That's what I have going on my eyes. I do have a skincare item for the eyes. In fact, let's go ahead and knock out skincare because I just have 2 products. I talked about this over on IG stories. I demoed it over there as well. This is from the brand Replenix. It comes from their discoloration line. It's their tinted brightening eye cream. I personally still go in with a normal eye cream underneath. I'm still using the Dear Claire's brightening eye gel as well as the Saturday Skin, I think it's avocado eye cream. I'd mentioned those in a previous video as well. But then I'll go in and apply this. As you can see, it does have a pump tip and then a metal tip applicator just to help it be really cooling on the under eyes. I typically reserve this for no makeup days because this and then mascara does a job, and then I feel awake and less zombie-like to where I feel like I can go out in the public and not look like a dead, tired bear. Why? I don't know. But I've been really impressed by this. The only thing is it is a pricier item, especially for the amount that you get. I want to say it was in the $50 range. Replenix is still a semi-newer line to me. They randomly started sending me PR. I fell in love with their tinted SPF. This is my first fail of the video. In fact, it's already in a disappointing product bin. It's the Pixie Vitamin C Under Eye Brightener. So it's the same sort of concept where it's my bangs. I already have major hair regrets today. I didn't want to curl it today. I'm just not in the mood. And now it's doing this like weird flip out thing. Like, oh, gross. Why? Unfortunately, this formula is not the same. A, I don't find it hydrating, and B, it made my under eyes look worse. Instead of brightening, it just added more of like a sallow tint to them. Hopefully I'll find another drugstore alternative, but this one is not it. I'm pretty sure I have referenced this night cream in my last 2 to 3 videos. This is from Tatcha. It's their Indigo Overnight Repair. I went ahead and pulled up the little details about it on Sephora. So it says it's a serum and moisturizer treatment that visibly calms irritation, strengthens skin barrier, and balances the microbiome for a healthy, hydrated glow. It says it's for all skin types. It's supposed to help with dryness, redness, and uneven texture. I don't have a lot of redness on my skin, so I can't really vouch for that, but the thing that I love about this product, it is so incredibly moisturizing. So when you first scoop a little bit out with a spoon or your finger, it feels kind of like Tatcha's normal, like pillowy, sort of jello-y moisturizer, but it really does glide on like a serum, and it just leaves your skin feeling so incredibly moisturized. It's one of those moisturizers where in the morning, my face still feels like there's something still left behind, which I really like. It's not overly greasy where your hair's sticking to it, but it just makes your skin feel really hydrated, plump, and supple. It says overnight repair, but it says you can use it in the daytime and in the morning. So I've been doing both. At night, I slather it all over, but in the daytime, I really only concentrate on areas where I have drier patches, like on my cheeks, and then a tiny bit on my forehead. Tatcha impresses me pretty much 99% of the time, but this really blew me away. While I was in Florida and Georgia, I either didn't wear makeup or I would wear my Covergirl Skin Milk a lot. But then on days like if we were doing dinner or something, I did want something with a little bit more coverage. I came up with this concoction. There's a third ingredient to this concoction, and I just absolutely love it. I've been a huge fan of the Purito BB Cream for a long time. This was the original packaging. I do have it in the newer packaging as well, but I just wanted to finish this one up. So in this, I used 27 Sand Beige, but right now I could definitely get away with, I think it's shade, is it 25? No, it's 23. But I mixed this with a little bit of the Covergirl Skin Milk and then put in a pump of, not even a full pump, of the Auric Glow Lust. I have the shade Pyrite. Something about these 3 products together, it just leaves my skin so glowy. It feels incredibly hydrating on the face too. Like the way that it just glides on, it's dewy, it feels dewy. It's just a very, very comfortable formula. If you are on the oily side, I would not recommend it. But if you have like normal to dry skin and you like something really glossy and glowy and dewy, try these 3 together. They are so beautiful. Obviously, each product on its own I love as well, but I have to say the 3 of them mixed, it's like they were destined for each other. Also, if you're curious, this has been a favorite for a while. If you like the Premier Protein shakes, you have to get the cinnamon roll one, and then you mix it with it's the iced espresso from Nespresso. Obviously, it doesn't have to be that. You can mix it just with like a double shot of espresso that you have from home or at Starbucks. But that combo with a little bit of extra cinnamon sprinkled on top, oh, 10 out of 10. Love it. You know what? While we're at it, let's go ahead and get the one other fail out of the way. I thought this was going to be similar to the e.l.f. Putty Primer. This is a greasy mess. Like, as much as I love glowy and dewy products, this is so greasy on my face. I just was not a fan. I see why they call this butter believe it, because I mean, I feel like you could spread that crap on toast and you'd get the same effect. Okay, one other, actually I have other complexion products, but one other base sort of product. This concealer. I do have the foundation from the same line as well. While I like it, the concealer is definitely the showstopper for me. This is the Lancome Teint, is it Tint? No, wasn't it like Teint Idole, I think? Ultra Wear All Over Concealer. I'll go ahead and link the 2 shades that I have down below. I kind of go back and forth between both of these. This formula, I just absolutely love. It's a thinner formula. I find that since it is so thin, it's very easy to blend into the skin, and it's not one that I have to set. On certain days, if I plan on wearing makeup for a while, I do still like to set it, but with the texture, I feel like I can definitely get by without setting it because it's not overly rich and thick and creamy. It does have a large doe foot applicator. And then for cream bronzers, I have 2 different, well, technically there's 3 products, but from 2 different brands. First up, we have the e.l.f. Electric Mood. I think it's De La Soul Face Quad. Yeah, De La Soul Cream Face Quad. I've mentioned this palette several times. The only product that I'm not crazy about in here is the highlighter. It just goes on like a clear face gloss, but it's just not really my favorite formula. The blushes are great, but the star product in here is definitely the bronzer. I do have the Putty Bronzer as well, and they are not the same. This one is just so much creamier and blendable in my opinion. I absolutely love it. I don't necessarily think that the Putty Primer or Putty Primer Bronzer, right, is bad by any means, but I just find this much more user-friendly. I like the overall color of it. I like the way that it blends, the formula, everything is just way better in my opinion. I wish this came in a single or in a larger size because I can definitely see myself getting through this way before I finish up any of the other products. Then the other cream bronzer I've been loving is from the brand Kaja. I do have all three of them, but I tend to go back and forth between 2 and 3. These are their Play Bento blush and bronzers. If you've never seen these before, you have a blush, a highlighter, and then a bronzer. However, the bronzer is the only product that's cream. Initially, I thought all 3 products were cream and I was like really excited, but the other 2 are powders. Whenever I do use shade 3, I'm only going in with like the tiniest dot just to deepen up shade 2 a bit. These are just so creamy and blendable. They work great even on top of powders or if you're just wanting to apply it on bare skin. I love these. The highlighters in here are really nice as well. This is the St. Barths. I think it's just a highlight powder, but I actually use it as a shimmery bronzer and highlighter in one. So I just go in with a big fluffy brush and then I just dust this all over my cheeks. I love that it highlights while still leaving behind a very subtle bronzy glow. It makes it a beautiful eyeshadow as well. When it just comes to a normal matte bronzer, this is the shade Samoa. If you're looking for a very warm tone bronzer, you don't mind like an orangey sort of bronzer, this is where it's at. So I do have this and then St. Barths on top. I love this combo. Oh, but I missed 2 products for eyes. On my lower lash line and on my waterline, I've been really liking to go in with something shimmery, either satin or subtle shimmer type of product. It's way more soft on the lower lash line instead of going in with like a stark matte brown or like black eyeliner. So I've been going with the MQNY waterproof gel or pencil gel liner. This one is in the shade number 4. This is so beautiful. It's another one of those like kind of golden bronzy shades. I just like to go in with my waterline, drag it all the way down to my lower lash line. I'll leave it as is like I did today. Sometimes I will go in with the St. Barths bronzer on top. That combo is beautiful, but these truly are waterproof. These are way more affordable than like the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On pencils or like the Smashbox one, which don't get me wrong, I still love. But these come in some gorgeous shimmery shades. They glide right on, really nice and smooth. I had mentioned this in my recent like shop with me video. I went to Ulta. Originally I was gonna pick up the Ulta brand one, but then I ended up ordering this one from Tweezerman on Amazon. This thing is so freaking good. I've had one from like JCat Beauty before. I think I've had like a Sephora brand one, but the Tweezerman one is definitely the best. The needles on it are way sharper, so they go in and really separate the lashes. Ever since using Babe Lash and actually like having lashes to separate, this has been a must-have for me. On Amazon, I want to say it's like $8. Other ones, it's like the tips either aren't quite as sharp or they're not as compact to where it doesn't make a difference. This one, I definitely see results. If you caught my recent shop with me video, I took you to Ulta, Marshalls, Target. I picked up one of the LA Girl Perfect Precision lip liners in the shade Cafe. Still love this. In fact, whenever I went to Florida, this was the only lip liner that I packed and I was totally fine and happy with that. This actually isn't the same one. I had to purchase another one because I lost that one somehow. But I mean, I loved it that much that I immediately went out and purchased another one. And then right on top of that LA Girl lip liner, I'm wearing one of the Roman Juicy Lasting Tints. This one is in Nucadamia. I have so many of these and I absolutely love them. This I think came from like their Bare It All or nude collection. So I don't find them to be quite as long lasting as some of the other water tints that I have from them. But I love the shade, especially with that Cafe lip liner. I feel like they pair perfectly. It's one of those perfect like dusty, rosy, your lips but better type of shade. If you've never used these before, I find them to be very similar to like the YSL water tints or like the texture of Lancome and L'Oreal ones. I will say that the Lancome ones are definitely way more long wearing, but it's that sort of like juicy, watery, jelly, pillowy sort of texture. If you've never used them before, it's hard to describe. It goes on just feeling very watery, but as it dries, it almost feels like a jelly sort of gloss, if that makes sense. I really love the scent of these as well. I have so many different shades, but this one, number 23, Nucadamia, I've been reaching for. Is it Nucadamia? Yeah, I thought it was Nutadamia at first. Nucadamia has been a favorite. All right, so that's all that I have for makeup. I have some perfumes that I wanted to quickly share. I am like such a boring person when it comes to perfume. I don't want to buy another one until I finish one completely. I know there's people that have like massive perfume collections, but it's getting to the point for me where I think it would be better for me to just purchase like travel size, like roller size bottles of perfumes. That way I could have a larger collection without perfumes getting bad, or like me feeling like I have to finish an entire bottle before I can try a new scent. So I'm still working on this bottle of Nirvana. I really only pull it out during like the fall and winter months, but I've been so just craving fall. I'm so over the summer heat. And lately I've been wearing the Nirvana Black and mixing it with a little bit of this Inkling and Sultry. This is like an oil perfume ball. Something about this combination is so nice because Nirvana Black is definitely more a smoky sort of perfume in my opinion, but still like that ambery sort of note that I love. But Sultry is definitely more of like amber and vanilla and cozy and warm, but while still being feminine. And mixing these two together, I love. Every time I catch a whiff, I'm just like, damn, that smells so, so good. I feel like everyone and their mother always talks about Replica. Anytime I go into Sephora, I smell them and I'm just like, I do not get the hype. I think the bottles are beautiful to look at, but I'm just never crazy about the scents. But for whatever reason, with my last few Sephora orders, every time there's a Replica sample, I get it anyways because I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to mix and match and see what happens. So I've gotten Beach Walk, Jazz Club, Sailing Day, and was it Bubble Bath maybe? Bubble Bath just smelled like soap on me. I know people love that one. I didn't get it. However, I've been mixing Sailing Day and Jazz Club together. Two totally different fragrances. Jazz Club, in fact, I think is marketed as a cologne. It's another one of those like smoky, bourbony, warm, masculine sort of scents. I spritzed a bit of Sailing Day. That combination of like warm, smoky, masculine to like fresh, bright, vibrant, clean. Something about the two together on my skin just worked. There's so many fragrances that smell like absolute Duke on me. Like people used to love Alien back in the day. When I sprayed that on myself, I smelled like a dusty grandma. Like it just did not work. But something about these two together, I love so much. So I'm kind of tempted to just get the travel sizes of Jazz Club and Sailing Day and mix it and see how it goes. After hearing those sort of scent notes, not that I gave you really any notes, if you have any perfume recommendations for me, definitely leave those down below. It would be much appreciated. Then I do have one other fragrance product. This is a home fragrance. If you are familiar with the Tyler Diva detergent, which I personally love, this is their little wax melt. That's what I have going on in my little wax melter thingy, wax warmer, right there, which I get questions. That was just from Walmart. I got it on clearance for like $5. But Diva and the wax melt is just as good as the detergent. It just smells so good. It's really strong. Fills up this whole room. I love it. Okay, and then the very final, I lied, I actually have one other disappointing product. I don't even want to call it a fail because I feel like that's so mean, especially since an author took like that much time to come up with a story, but you guys seem to enjoy whenever I include a book favorite. I really wanted to love this book. Honestly, I got it because it was one of Reese's book club picks. Typically, I tend to like a lot of those books, but this was just not it for me. The main reason I scooped it up besides that was I definitely judged the cover. Like it kind of gave me Where the Crawdads Sing vibes, which if you still haven't read that book, do yourself a favor and read it. It's so good. This to me was just very, very predictable. I've read many other predictable books in my day. In fact, I thought The Push was pretty predictable as well. That was a book that I read right before this, but I preferred that over this one. I don't know, I just did not enjoy it. I know a lot of people love this book. There's definitely a ton of trigger warnings, including rape and incest. Basically a quick little synopsis. It is about a married woman who kind of rekindles her love for a boy that she grew up with. Like they never really had a true romance growing up, but just kind of like a crush on each other. And then their families began vacationing together. He's also married. They have an affair, and it just kind of goes through multi-generational drama of abuse. And it just, I don't know. I wasn't a fan. I don't mind, well, I mean, I love like domestic sort of thrillers. This isn't a thriller by any means, but it wasn't for me. I was glad to get it over with. If you do have any other book recommendations, leave those down below as well. And there you have it. There are all of my favorites and fails from the month of August. I would love to hear about some of your go-to products from the last month. I'm so excited to get into September and start like busting out all my like deep fall, warm, rich tones, all the cozy vibes. I love fall so much. As always, thank you so much for spending part of your day with me. If you haven't already, I would love if you subscribed. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It really does help out me and my channel. And yeah, that's it. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.